Hey, I figured just having a video response would probably be helpful. So here's a video response. I'm a 2600 Shadow Priest. I just hit Legend this season. It's really all my experience, but I figured having a video format would be nice. So I'm just gonna, I watched through a little bit already. Spec-wise, I personally way prefer, especially in Shuffle, Mind Spike feels insane. Because you're gonna be constantly getting kicked. You're gonna constantly be getting, just bullied. Other than that, it's fine. You can play Shadow Crash. I personally don't, but it's like 50-50 at the top of the ladder right now. I think that I've found much more consistency just pure dotting and then having Mind Spike to go back on. You are playing Mind Trauma, Catharsis. I think those are both good. I feel like Fiend, especially in this matchup, isn't really the play. Like we go back. You're with a DH. DHs already have Immortal Strike. I personally think that just playing Fade is way better. Like, especially against Rogue Mage Pal, you can just fade any of their goes. You can fade CC if you time it right. It just feels way better. So I'm just gonna skip ahead. Uh, you're waiting for your DH to go in. That's fine. You could stay mounted at this point. There's no real reason to not. I think you're going for dispels, which is okay. You get one dot out right away, which I think is fine. Um, Rogue opens on you. You don't even get to use your second charge of your instant cast. I forget the name of it, but um, when you cast Vampiric Touch, you get to do a second cast. I would try to be forcing up onto the Paladin. Paladin's right here. Pretty much always, you can just have triple dots going. Like, there's no real downside to it. You're getting more insanity generation. Any CC that would stop it will just take it off anyways, so it's not a big deal. Like if you were with the mage and the mage polymorphed, it would just remove your dots. So it's not like you're going to be breaking future CC or anything. Just go for triple dots. I think in this clip you also you shadow crash onto the rogue. It gets instant dispelled. You can tell because of the dispel thing. And you still haven't really done anything, right? Like it's fine. Uh, you're doing decent damage already. Just I'd focus more on getting your dots up. Like I think yours has fallen off the mage as well. Um, right here, big issue is you are stacked with your priest. You never want to be stacked with your healer if you can help it, especially against rogue mage. They have so much potential to punish that. Like rogues can just go for a gouge into a cheap shot blind sap. Mage can come polymorph or even like Dragon's Breath double ring both of you, and you're just both out of the game, and they can go kill your DH. There's a lot that can happen here. It's also kind of his fault. Like he should be pushing this way, I think, but you know, do what you can with it. You also haven't used any of your CC yet. You feared, I think, the rogue opener, if I remember right. You trinket this, which is fine. Mage is way overextended. You're kind of, I don't know why your priest isn't PSing, but you're kind of playing, you disperse that. That's good, actually. Okay, so you get a in cap on, stun in cap. You could then go push for a fear, like just walk towards the paladin, go for a fear. Like, he's right there, right? Walking from here to there, especially if you have fade up. I don't, no, you don't have fade up, but you could just push for a fear. That would take him out of the game or force his trinket, and you'd win. I'm pretty sure you win pretty quick anyways, because the mage just doesn't ice block, right? You're going for a lot of jukes, a lot of baiting kicks, which is okay, but this whole time you're baiting kicks, there's no kick up. Like, you could just be hard casting this whole time. You get a really good torrent, and I think he just dies, right? Yeah, he just dies. If you're playing Mind Spike, you don't need to be juking as much. You can just soak every kick, right? Like, if um, you go for a Vampiric Touch, they kick you, just press Mind Spike instantly. You're doing damage, so you're not just like you're about the same as the healer right now, which is a little rough. You just do way more damage. I think you also could probably be pressing Catharsis a bit more. But Mind Spike also lets you get Mind Trauma up, which is 2% haste for you and 2% haste stolen every stack. Uh, as a Shadow Priest, you're not playing to like out damage people, you're playing to dampen them. And if you can make them fall behind because they just don't have haste and you do, that's massive benefit. I don't love that change. Uh, I pretty much always was it here? That was a bit before. I pretty much always just stay on the reduced magic damage taken. Every class pretty well does magic damage except for like Arms Warrior. Like even DH, most of his damage is Chaos, which is magic. You're playing against a mage, all magic. The crit self regen doesn't feel super impactful. I only ever play Tendrils against BM Hunters, personally. Um, I was playing the lower Desperate Prayer build last season, but I think just dropping these and either putting them into shield and angelic, or if possible, these three are better. But it won't make a massive difference. It's kind of just extra min maxing. Okay, your rogue goes straight in, which is great. You can drop a feather for him if you're playing feather. It's not a massive deal because he should sprint out anyways. Okay, right here, this is something I was thinking about. DH just instantly opens you, and he sends his whole go. Like he just I beams, I beams hunts into I'm pretty sure Essence Break meta. The first thing that I would do is just press fear. Like he's on you, he's pressing everything. Just stop his go, or at the very least, force out a dispel or a trinket. Ideally, like you disperse into this, you don't need to disperse it. You can just press fear, and then if it gets dispelled, I press stun right off. He has no stun DRs. Paladin's free casting. Like you can just fear him, fear silence the paladin, or just fear into dispel stun DH, and he just loses all his pressure. Again, you're stacked up with your priests. Not a big deal though. Okay, the fear comes late. Or is that here? His fear? No, that's your fear. Good. Okay, mage is kind of just dying right now. You still have silence, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, silence stun up. So mage is getting pressured pretty good. I would push and get a stun silent onto the paladin. He probably trinkets that if because I'm pretty sure the mage just dies without blocking, right? You're also like pressing right on for your targets, which you could speed up by using Arena 123 targeting macros, but it's not the most massive deal. And then mage just dies. You get you do get healer trinket though. Mage should be ice blocking healer trinketing, so in that case you want to be pressing stun silence. Like you went that whole round without pressing them. Yeah, you're not mounted up, which again, you could be. I guess you're going for shields, which is fine, but it's not the most massive deal. Here, here you get a really good opener because the priest is just trolling. Doesn't let your rogue sap, doesn't let your rogue do anything. He just runs in. This is one of those cases that having Mind Spike for Mind Trauma would be massive because he's just standing right here. He's doing nothing. If you had Mind Spike, you could just start spamming into him. You'll get your Cthulhu tendrils rolling. He gets slowed. Rogue's way over here. He has to run all the way this way to catch up. Um, Alternatively, if you read the Mind Trauma tooltip, if you get a full channel of your Void Torrent, it also puts 3 stacks up. So quite often, especially in a case like this, where the rogue's just like in fucking Narnia and the priest is sitting here, just go for dots, press your dots, and then or press touch, and then just instant press Void Trauma or Void Torrent. Like you're not going to be getting a killing opening and a killing blow in the opener. So just press it, get your stacks up. You start pumping more damage when he opens. You also don't get Mind Trauma procs unless you get a full cast of Mind Flay, which is another reason that's not as good. You go for a stun on the opener, that's fine. Pal, the priest is right behind you. You could be getting a triple CC. You could just fear all three. Like, DH was here, Rogue was here, Priest is here. If you just walk right here and press fear, all three of these are feared. And they have someone has to trinket, everyone's pressured, and you can just start massive bursting. Priest is still standing right beside you. You should fear right now. That's a good fear. Smoke bomb, I'd push in, try to grip your guy, try to do something. If you had fear for that, you could use it, but you didn't because you just used it, which is fine. I would go for a life grip right now. DH, Asa are both just pumping your mage. Like, just come back a little bit this way. Leap him out. He just takes no damage. Yeah. All the pressure's already gone, so this grip kind of accomplishes nothing, but it's still the right idea. They both push onto you. And again, this is a situation you want to just press double fear. Especially if he's ringing. Double fear ring. That's just like free game. You get a silence. You get stunned off of it. You could have feared. You still can fear. You should be fearing here, which is fine. Rogue gets stunned. Nether. You're still just sitting on your CC. I think that's the big thing. I'll just skip ahead. Hey, you get the win. That's good. Okay, again, you're pushing ahead of your rogue, which is pretty bad. Like, a lot of rogue value is from sapping into the opener, right? And you just cancel all that by getting everyone in combat. I don't know what he was doing over here anyways, but you still want to be, like, helping him out. Priest is on you again. Again, this is another. You could, if you had fear, you could double fear here. In the opener is where most of the damage is, because that's when everyone has their big spells, and so everyone's pressing them. I pretty much first engagement every single solo shuffle round will just press embrace. That's when you're doing the most damage because you have your void form going. That's when everyone else's damage is going. You know, got this happening. DH is meta'd. Everything's happening. Just press it now. That's when like you can relieve the most pressure from your healer. So I'm gonna go back a little bit. Healer was just in a full blind. Just I think just now your rogue blinds the healer. Yeah, smoke bomb blinds. Something breaks it. Whatever. You should instantly be going for the fear onto him. Like even DR'd or not. If you can just chain that. If he just can't do anything for 6, 7, 8 seconds, he probably doesn't get to press pain suppression. I don't know if he does or not. And mage will just die. That's block. You go for an MD. That's good. And DH just randomly dies. So that is a good use of Crash. I still just don't think it's worth it. Dropping 2 points for it kind of sucks. See here in the opener, you're just kicked right out the way. If you were playing Mind Spike, you just start spamming Mind Spike, start getting your things up. Also, you can be going for Dispels. Doesn't look like you are. Kind of just looks like you're waiting for it to end, like it's a hard stun. You get kicked again. Still no Dispels. He still has full buffs. Good kick. The second you get a kick like that or a silence, like Priest is a wheelchair class, but you also can get places, especially with if you're playing Fade, root remove. There's a talent in the upper end of the class tree that just removes any roots when you press Fade. You press that, you press Angel Feather, and you just walk towards the Priest. Usually you'll get there unless the rogue or the mage try to poly you off or something. You get a really good silence, and you can just walk towards the Priest in fear. Okay, you get PS, which is good. Uh, I'm not super sure what you're doing right now. Yeah, that was like 8 seconds of you just not really doing much. Like the mage didn't even have full dots on, and you just didn't redot him. It didn't look like you were trying to spell. Maybe you were, and just got unlucky with the things. Okay. Priest is in a fear. You're sitting right beside him. You can go for a silence off this, and the mage probably dies or blocks. You get big pressure here. You guys trade like everything. Nether, you lose a bop. You have one bop charge left. You go for a fear. I think that was good, but I think it just got dispelled really quick. Good silence. Mind games. Okay, your guy gets your DH out. You get a full rep on the priest. Again, you could, oh, you just win anyway. Oh, you lose. Never mind. You probably could have swapped that, but no. Oh well. Oh, you were kicked. I see. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the DH comes out on the right side. You can just start, like, just match him. Don't go to the left. Just go straight to the right. Get him in combat. So you're in combat. They can't get a sap off. Your guy gets sapped. It gets instant broken for some reason. Good double fear. I would double fear into stun silence. So they have no pressure for this entire opener. You can start ramping. They can't kick you because they're both feared. And the paladin can't dispel either of them. So you just get the full value. But it's fine. Rogue vanishes early. It's weird. Another situation that you're kind of just like looking around waiting for something to happen, which is fine. But you just want to try and min-max your uptime, right? Paladin's right there. You start pumping into him. I would just press Void Eruption. Press PI Void Eruption. Just start going. You're waiting on your cooldowns, and you're not really getting like they're just sitting there. They're not doing anything. Just get them going. Getting goes on healers isn't bad. Paladins die. You stun off. Your guy's already in an ice block, so it's kind of low value. I would just start pumping DH here. Yeah. Again, we're kind of just sitting on Embrace for no reason. You get a really good fear, you guys or Pally fear off that. That was really good. That's what you want to be looking to do like all the time. Is your if your teammate CC something, especially the healer, if you can just go off that, that's massive. You then start pumping into him. I feel like that's a bit of a mistake. Like unless you're just trying to keep him slowed, because he just runs across the map. They're both of these guys were at like 30% HP. You could have just like swapped to them, and one of them probably died. Or at least you got another walk, because this guy has no cloak, no trinket. Yeah, you won anyways like that. Overall, just my biggest recommendation is just work on like getting a better uptime and chaining your CC. Like you're just sitting on CCs for like whole games sometimes, which is a bit rough. But overall, good damage. I think you're top damage. Yeah, good work.